All right, welcome to the 2P65 Sport Marketing Take-Home Assignment. Question 1. There's many different factors that affect sporting teams within the Niagara region. The following are politics and institutional facilities. That's where the local government or municipality and even provincial government controls the facilities, funding, allocation, and even the event permits to even host an event. On the provincial level, you have grants that influence sport marketing budgets because that budget comes from the event budget. And you can see how these two can be bridged together. The greater the budget is for the event, the more they can put money into the marketing. Number 2, we have economics. So Niagara is a touristic town, right? The falls, combined with the many views and wineries, are what make the region a prime destination vacation spot. So, with that in mind, marketing strategies and marketing departments need to take into account on how they can maximize their potential profits with taking account the events going on. So, hosting games, family-friendly games and events during peak tourism seasons and weekends, like Labor Day weekend or even Thanksgiving weekend, is what's going to help them maximize their potential profit and reach. Number 3, have demographic, right? So Niagara is home to a mix of university students, seasonal workers, retired folks, and growing families. Knowing your demographic will set you apart and make you more successful in your marketing strategies. Like if you have a huge demographic university students, your goal should be to have more later evening games and events at a lower cost to accommodate their schedule and their ways of life compared to if your target audience are families, well then you want more daytime events at a more family package prices so you can accommodate their needs, right? You have number 4, where's technology. Sport in Niagara is growing. Technology is also growing with it, right? So now you can have some technology at the palm of your hand. It influences marketing strategies so much. You have social media that influences marketing and you can reach out to the youth, but you also have like digital tickets. If you have a fan that is 30 minutes away from the Meridian Center, for example, and he does not want to do that commute twice just to go at the box office and buy a ticket, he can buy the ticket on his phone, and that way he saves himself a trip and also gets to experience the event in person and enjoy the experience that the OHL Ice Dogs have to offer. At the same time, though, you also have the streaming part of technology. Streaming, now you can expand your fan base and go reach people who are now out of reach to come see the event in person, but can still support their favorite team on the mobile devices. Number 5, we got law and regulation requirements, right? So when marketing, you have to keep into account the facilities capacities for, like example, the fire code, and also the accessibility requirement for such events. So the ice dogs, I keep using it for example, but they can only have a certain amount of people within the arena, and they can have to make sure they have accessible seating and accessible entrance, and all of these to make sure they accommodate to the laws and also the regulation requirements. Number 6, which is the last one for this question, is the environmental slash geographical factors. Winter sports are the focus in the region. So let's just say if you have a OHL game, a playoffs, right? Nice Dogs versus London Knights, you have to keep, and you're hosting a tailgate party, you have to keep in account how the weather will be. If the weather turns into raining or snowing, then you have to unfortunately pivot your event, and your marketing strategy has to take an account for that. All right, you have to be ready at all costs. But also that comes with who do you market to? You won't be able to market to fans who are 30 minutes away and don't have a way of transportation. If you do, your marketing strategy won't have the same impact of success as somebody who markets towards 15 minutes radiation of a walk from your event. That will have more of a success rate. Question number 2. So there's 3 levels of fan identification: low identification, medium identification, and high identification. On low ID, you have social or situational fans, right? They have temporary or casual connections with a team, and their investment is all depending on what time of year it is. For me, I'm a Blue Jays fan, but I'm only really watching them because of their fantastic season so far and playoff run. Didn't watch any season games, but I am all in on their playoff run. Medium identification are focused fans. So these fans follow the team more closely. They know stats, roster standings, and more. But they aren't attached to them for life. They aren't loyal to them. They have multiple favorite teams slash players. Like for me, I'm a Josh Allen fan. I'm not a Bills fan first. Josh Allen fan first, and Bills second. And then you have the high identification or high ID, and that's die-hard fans, right? So fans with deep loyalty to a team and that their identity and self-esteem are linked to the team's success, emotionally invested, right? They use language like we won last night and when they didn't even contribute to the game, or they say they lost last night when they didn't even contribute to the game, right? So, question number 3, you have different examples of how sport differs from movies, plays, and etc. But the numbers are like, it's unpredictable, right? Unpredictable versus predictable outcomes. Sports unpredictable. Fans don't know the result of the game. Versus movies and plays, you pretty know the result. It's pretty always the same, right? Then you have the emotional investment. So sport fans are emotionally tied to the game. They're involved emotionally. It has a psychological impact on their day-to-day life. But for people who go to the movies, you may be emotionally invested during the movie, but it ends there. You don't have any more for the grand scheme of movie fans. Then you also have the level of risk, right? So when watching sport, there's an uncertainty of risk, uh, and unlike the unpredictability in hockey, example, a puck can come out of play and hit you, and that can hurt you, right? Or in baseball, you can have a foul ball, yeah, and you're not paying attention, hit you, or a home run ball, and that can basically cause some damages, unfortunately. In movies and concerts, you don't have that kind of risk associated with the event. You also have the fan participation. In sports, fans are what make professional sports. They participate, they influence, they chant the momentum of the game, like at a very large rate. And Bills games are so loud that they're known to be influencing the play calling on the field for both players and even officials. In the entertainment area, though, they're sitting silently. They're expected to stay silent if it's a movie or a play, and they're expected to sing if it's a concert. There's not much more than that. But for a frequency of the event, which is number 5 out of the list, is that sport teams play multiple games a season, which offers many different opportunities to go support it. Concerts, reoccurrence, one every 3 years, right? If you're lucky. And the revenue is that revenue, sports has a major streams of revenue. Ticket sales, merchandise, sponsorship, broadcasting, and more. On the movie side, though, you guys have the movie entertainment area. You only have ticket sales to really focus on, and maybe merchandise, but that's about it. You don't have the broadcasting. You don't have a lot of those revenue streams as sport does. The question 4, SWOT analysis. So a SWOT analysis is basically a strategic tool to evaluate your internal strength, weakness, external opportunities, and threats. It helps make decision makers make better decisions. So for Toronto Blue Jays, their strengths are a strong fan base. They're known as Canada's team, and they have a really good fan experience. Their weaknesses, though, internally, are that they have really huge amounts of pressure and high expectations because they are Canada's team. And after their season this year, they're going to have even more bigger expectations to fill. Their opportunities, though, externally, they're expanding their fan base across Canada. Their current run is allowing them to reach new customers, new consumers at an alarming rate, which will only improve their fan base. And also, you have the threats, though. So the risk of losing key players is a big threat to the Blue Jays organization. They had one with Vladdy this year. They got that under control, but you can never predict who's going to stay on the team, which is a threat in terms of marketing strategies. So, question 5. Sport has unique traits. So here's 5 traits that they're so unique. So sport's intangible and it's an emotional product. You can't physically own the game. Fans can't physically own it. Number 2, sports uncontrollable. Unlike other industries, you can have an outcome of a sporting event can be so unpredictable that it'll throw off the whole sport industry for a minute, but it'll come back. It's unpredictable, right? Sport is produced and consumed at the same time. There's no inventory like Pepsi has an inventory of their drinks, right? Number 4, a strong social identification. Fans often form deep psychological and social connections with professional sport teams, even so if that becomes part of their identity, like I mentioned earlier. Then you have number 5, coopetition. So that stands for cooperation and competition. Sport organizations must collaborate with their competitors for the industry to thrive. In the NHL, teams share their revenue league wide just to support the league, but they compete against each other to winning the Stanley Cup. Question number 6. What's the pink it and shrink it motto? So that's an outdated marketing approach from the sport industry when they were selling and trying to acquire a new female audience. Now, sport marketers have moved past that. They view women as an authentic and knowledgeable fan, and they have shifted to a more inclusive and diverse marketing strategies, may I say, to try and appeal to their female audience. They're now like taking a step in the right direction, right? They're now more than ever being more inclusive in their marketing and building connections and offering women merchandise that aren't outstanding, stand out, and aren't pink. They're a team that support the team, but although they're going in the right direction, they can still have a lot more to do. They can create female fan clubs, increase media coverage, funding for more women's leagues, promoting women leadership roles, and creating more opportunities to keep them all together and give them a reason to feel valued and part of a community in sports. Question number 7. So there's different ways to market segmentation that improves mass marketing, right? So you have number 1, demographic. That divides consumers by age, gender, ethnic background, and family status. An example of that is that the Toronto Raptors target younger adults and families with affordable ticket packages and produce some youth-oriented media. Number 2 is socioeconomic. So that's a segmentation that combines factors from the demographic side by looking at their income, education, and occupation. An example of this would be using a postal codes to send them some marketing strategies to get them to buy tickets and send that into neighborhoods willing, depending on their income of the neighborhood, which is premium seats or discounted seats. You also have the psychographic. So that focuses on lifestyle, personality, and activities and interests, right? An example of that would be the Nike organization, where their whole campaign is targeted towards individuals who have an active lifestyle and are interested in a healthy living lifestyle, right? And they're very successful in it. We know they're the most dominant athletic wearing companies in the world, excuse me. Then you have number 4, geographic. That targets consumers in within their geographic position, so country, their region, their city, and their physical climate. An example of that is the Toronto Raptors. They market themselves as Canada's team with a slogan as "We the North." That promotes their organization all over Canada by holding events all across the country. Number 5 is a behavioral segmentation. So that is based on the consumer's behavior and their frequency of purchase and the size of their purchase, right? The NHL has a loyalty program that rewards loyal fans and those who have continuous season tickets. That separates them from the casual fan who only goes to 1 or 2 games. Then you have the benefits. So this is a segmentation that's based on whether the consumer is fulfilled their needs or desired outcome. That's like a gym marketing towards a more social event like a gym class, towards marketing their gym and lifting weights as an individual event, if depending on what the consumer wants. So we all have diversions, right? Sport for question 8 is diversions. Providing entertainment and excitement is one of the best motivators to drive people to attend live events because that diverts them from everyday life. The Toronto Raptors really captured that idea by creating a better in-arena experience for the fans, which adjusting their strategies. They added theme nights, promotions, new merchandise, which gained success, and also implementing more fan-centric events that also named Raptors Fan Day. Question 9, which are bonus questions, are what is your favorite part of class? The dialogue that between the professor and his students is what makes the class so interesting and so amazing to go to. And then number 2 is what is your least favorite part of class so far? I'd say it's not something in his control, but it's a time slot of the course. It's at an awkward time in the day and an awkward day in the week. So yeah, that's the only thing. Thank you.